Welcome to the Geeks of the North, a hobby and gaming podcast in the adult province. We're here to paint some miniatures and talk about the hobby, so why don't you sit back, relax, grab a paintbrush, and enjoy the show. Hey everyone, welcome to Geeks of the North, your hobby and gaming podcast in the adult province. As always, I am your magnificent host, Paul Fillion. Here once again this week with my luscious co-host, Antoine Bergeron.
It's better than beige bread.
Better than beige bread? Yes you are. And also this week, due to much whining and popular demand, we have Yaum Lemeshin. How's it going, Yaum?
Hello, not whining by me.
That's true.
Where's my quality? Right? My like the elusive or something, because I'm never here.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'll think of something for you. You made me screw up my model, Yaum.
Yes, that was my plan all along.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame you. It was totally my fault, but I'm gonna blame you anyway. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going okay for me too. I'm recovering from a cold, so if I have a coughing fit, my apologies in advance. Yeah, so I'm working on some Guild Ball models, or a Guild Ball model. The limited edition Solthesian Gutter that I picked up at Adepticon this year. It was in a random prize pool for a Guild Ball event I played in.
It's a good draw.
Yeah, it's a luck of the draw.
Actually, that pool was awesome because I got two models. I got her, and I got someone else I was missing. I can't remember who that someone else was at this point. It may have been Rookie Jack, or like it was another model I didn't have that I kind of wanted. So
Hard to remember because you have like 6 guilds.
Probably more at this point. But I've only got a few painted, so I don't count the unpainted ones. That's gonna drive me nuts now. It wasn't Vet Hemlock. I got that last year. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll say I got really lucky in what I picked up. So, yay. And since there's an errata coming soon, and there's hopes that something happens for Union, I decided to pull out that model and paint her up to replace the crappy original sculpt that I have, which is in an entirely different scale, for some reason.
Yeah, those old Union models, Gutter and Decimate, were so small.
And so is Hemlock, so is
Snakeskin.
Snakeskin.
They were kids back then. That's why.
I hope not, because there's a whole rape scene in the fluff in season 1, and that would be wrong.
It's already wrong.
Well, yes, but it would be even more wrong. So, yeah, no more political stuff. Wait, is rape political? I don't know. I guess it can be. Let's talk about something less inflammatory, like the daily mass shootings in the U.S. Wait, no. So what are you guys working on?
You go, Antoine.
Oh, come on, it wasn't that bad, guys, come on. I shouldn't have stalled the show that bad.
I'm working on Corbelly that I started during the last recording.
Yeah, he was looking freaking awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll finish him tonight.
Did you start him last recording, or just randomly during the week?
No, during the recording, right?
I don't know about that. Weren't you working on... No, you were working on your Templar last week, weren't you? You started him during our D&D game on Friday, or our RPG.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
It was during a recording, but not this one. Actually, there was no recording, per se.
So, that's good, because I forgot about that, so I did play a game this week.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. So I started Corbelly after last recording. I had some time in front of the computer. I didn't know what to work on. And the Templar NMM work is a bit more...
attention required?
Yeah, attention required, so I couldn't just dry brush away. So I picked up Corbelly instead. And just did that during our last RPG session. It was about halfway done, and it'll probably be finished tonight.
Yeah. For anyone wanting to know, we're playing Shadows of the Demon Lord, which is a light and fluffy RPG. Okay, not at all.
Yeah.
I think it's very much a kindred spirit to Warhammer Fantasy roleplay. Like, the world's very kind of dark.
Have you died yet? Your characters, I mean.
No. Not gonna say it hasn't come close a few times.
No, and I think we play pretty safe.
Well, it's because our game master is well known to me. And I make sure to warn everyone that plays one of his games that he has no real concept of gauging encounters, because he long ago decided he doesn't need to. He's like, players will figure it out for themselves. If they need to run, they'll run. If they don't need to run, they won't run. So,
that's one way of doing it.
And the thing is, most people are not used to that style of jamming. So
It's
if they come
common.
from other, they come from other games and they're like, oh, there's this encounter. We should be able to beat this thing. And then they die horribly, and they get all upset. And I'm always like, I told you. Like, why didn't you listen? But Antoine is a good listener, so we have not died.
Well, it works with that I play a careful character too. A bit innocent, but careful.
Careful or coward?
Oh no, he's not a coward.
No, again.
He does stupid things out of not knowing what stuff is.
You haven't really done anything stupid that
No.
I can think of. Have you? Am I just not remembering?
I don't remember everything.
I think you've been pretty not stupid. I won't say smart, because that's not really in character for you either.
No. But he's kind of a scout, so he's gonna always go slowly and check everything. So that fits with the style of game we have to play.
Yes. Because death comes swiftly in Shadows of the Demon Lord.
Yeah. We came close during the tower. I was down to one
Oh yeah, I was also...
one life point, if I remember correctly.
I had run out of all my spells. I'm playing like a combat mage. But like I'm a mage that physically enhances himself and magically enhances his like melee weapons. Which sounds pretty cool. Until you realize you're still a mage. So you're kinda squishy. There are no armor restrictions in this game. I could wear armor. Except that in the setting we're playing in, the economy is basically borked because there's mass refugee exodus. And it's caused crazy inflation and we can't afford armor.
Well,
So
there's a lot of stuff we can't afford before even trying to get armor.
yes.
Like, I'm piling money just to be able to afford a leather armor. So,
Yep. I know. I'm in that same boat. Because I also would like some leather armor.
I'm sure it helps with encounters also. Like
Having
everything
armor?
is harder because you don't have armor or bad weapons.
Well, luckily weapons I came equipped with because of my character's history. So here's the thing. In Shadows of the Demon Lord, which was totally not supposed to be the topic tonight, but what the hell? Your characters don't have skills, per se. You have a background, and you have previous, like, careers, I guess you could say. And you have any skill that would make sense for a person with that career to have. So, if your previous career was
tracker.
hunter, I was going to say hunter, and you're in the woods and you want to track an animal, well, that's considered a skilled role because you were a hunter, so you obviously should have that skill.
So you get a boon, they call it in the system. So an advantage during your role. That's it. Makes sense. It works well.
It's very streamlined, but it's got enough diversity in what's going on in the characters that nothing really feels samey, which is nice.
Okay.
It's not what I'd really call a rules light system.
Nope.
But it's not particularly heavy either. It's certainly less rules than like Pathfinder, I would say, or probably even 5th Ed. Though 5th Ed's pretty streamlined too. Yeah, so being a combat mage that has to constantly fear for his life in every combat is pretty interesting from a player character point of view. Because I pretty much nearly die every single combat. Like, every time. So, yeah.
Yaum, what are you working
It was like a silence there. I'm working on Corker. So, shout out to Steve. I'm painting a Gitball model. For those who don't know, it's the third captain for the Brewers.
That's a really cool looking model too.
Yeah. Did a slight modification on him. I didn't like his face because he has a huge full beard, but he had no
like
stash.
Your face.
Yeah. So I punched him in the face. No, but he didn't have a stash. So I had a full grown stash on it. And some hair on top also. Shaved on the side, but long hair tied in the back. I really like his look. He look a lot more like a Viking right now. I mean, he already had the look, but it just looks a bit better. I find.
So you got rid of his male pattern baldness and you gave him a mustache.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And right now I'm painting the tartan, so I'm not having a lot of fun.
Well, you know who you can blame for that, eh?
Yeah. Never again.
Well, it's a good thing you only have so many models to paint for that guild.
Yep. I always dodge, all my gaming life, I always dodge tartan for every army, so I really like the look of the Brewers. I was like, okay, there's only a few models. I'll do it for them, but... Yeah,
I was recently painting a Pulp City model, and he's supposed to have tartan. And I thought about contacting you. And I'm like, nope, that would only lead to suffering. Mine. So I'll just put that thought out of my head, and he's wearing a green skirt.
For a moment there, I thought that you meant that contacting me would only lead to suffering.
Might have been both.
I swear I was referring... Goodness, Yaum. As I said last cast, despite my best efforts, I can't dislike you, really. So.
I smell too okay, I guess, like you said.
Yeah, you don't even smell bad.
It's not that I smell good, I just don't smell bad. So, but I'll take it.
Which, let's face it, in the gaming community, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Not smelling good or not smelling bad is the same as smelling good. Because the standards in gaming are pretty low.
So, so that's what I'm painting right now. And for gaming, well, last week I was on vacation with the family, so before that I tried to game once a week. Try to get either Guild Ball or War Machine. So my last game was against our friend G. I was playing Scorn into his Trollblood. Always fun to fight this guy. Face him.
G's a great opponent. I don't get to play him often enough anymore.
He's fun. In every game, every system, it's always fun to play.
Yep.
And I was part of a RPG group also on my side. We were playing Shadowrun. But it was...
my sympathies.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, it's complicated. Just building a character, took me a week. a week of just going through source books and
Yeah, it's they've done some work on it. The system has improved, as scary as that may be. My biggest problem with it is that combat bogs down like crazy.
yeah, it's like a Infinity but in an RPG.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with it, is that combat becomes a big slog, and, you know, a lot of these games, a lot of these RPGs revolve around combat, so it's not like you can just cut the combat out of the equation to make the game go faster.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not much of a game without it. What class are you playing in Shadowrun?
It's complicated. It's like a rigger, I guess. But also like a gunner, so it's the way it's built, it's an orc, of course. But it's built like think of a mech boy. Like he's there to build custom guns and vehicles, and he likes it when there's a lot of DACA. So he built himself a big gun. So I'm the fire support for the group.
What, you don't have a Panther assault cannon or whatever?
I know, it's some heavy machine gun with like grenade launchers attached to it and stuff like that. So I just like shoot stuff and make stuff explode. yeah. I just make things explode and shoot things down all the time, laughing as I do. So, but I was about to say this game was put on hold because there's a 6th edition coming, which will be more streamlined. So we've put the game on hold. We will probably rebuild the characters to fit the 6th ed. So hopefully it will be simpler because, damn, it's complicated. And while
I don't know who has the game now. Like who publishes?
Still Catalyst.
No,
It's Catalyst.
Yep.
They just own everything that used to be FASA? Is that it?
Yep. Well, they've had it since FASA, I think.
Probably.
I like the universe. I like the atmosphere and everything, but yeah, it's just too heavy.
Yeah, because right now I think they're on 5th edition revised or something, right?
Yep. 6th came out at Gen Con. A bunch of the books were available there.
Yeah. Does it still have... I don't remember, in 5th edition, do you still have like your essence or whatever it is? Like how much...
Yes.
How much cyber you can get before it deteriorates your body and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who ran around with more than like a single point. Most of us, back in the days we were playing this in college, you know, being young men with too much testosterone, we were all cybered up to the hilt, running around with 0.5 essence. Just waiting for something to go wrong. And it did.
And well, while it's on hold, we started another game. It's a game of Death Watch.
Oh.
But we just built the characters and played one session. Yeah, it's my first... With all my years playing 40k, it's my first time playing an RPG of 40k.
Is that using the old Fantasy Flight system, I guess?
I guess. But it's really simple so far. Like, even building characters, like, one night, your character is built. Like, we build the whole squad in one session. It's like, okay, that's a lot easier than Shadowrun.
Yeah, Death Watch was fun. I mean, a lot of those games were tough, I found. Just because, like, Space Marines are kind of shoehorned into a certain type of character, I guess you could say, by most people. Like, most people don't treat Space Marines like they're people, right? So, there's only so much a bunch of super stoic, warriors running around using quote-unquote high Gothic / Old English. There's so many opportunities there for role-playing.
Nope.
Unless you can let yourself, get out of that shell. Or that trope.
But I don't think I want to. I think the point of this game is to really blow up steam.
Yeah, if you want something more serious, play one of the other 40k game, Rogue Trader or
the
other one.
Me, it wasn't about seriousness. It's hard to really make the character your own, I found, because like you end up having people's expectations kind of making you play that. Everyone's playing the same character. I always found Deathwatch worked best in a diverse group. The rules didn't mesh so well because Space Marines were like a starting Space Marine was inherently better than a starting Imperial Guardsman, shall we say? But because the group was more diverse, it made the games more interesting. But I get what you're saying too, Yaum. It's fun to be able to sit there and go like, bada bada bada, he's dead, bada bada bada, they're dead.
Yeah, I think when they send the Deathwatch, time for diplomacy has passed.
Yeah, the game I played, actually, it was run by the same guy that's running our Shadows of the Demon Lord. And I was playing an Ultramarine Devastator, essentially.
So you picked the worst Legion, well, I say Legion because I'm more of a Chaos player. But the worst chapter to have something to talk about character development.
No, actually, I played him what I thought was in a rather interesting manner, because he was very dry. Like, he had my sense of humor, but he was super dry. And he could not relate to a lot of the other people in the group because, you know, there was the pretentious, Captain, Imperial Navy Captain, Rogue Trader guy, former Imperial Navy, now Rogue Trader. There was a Guardsman Sergeant who was like so super by the book that he was completely inflexible at everything. And the Space Marine was actually more flexible than him. And then there was the Inquisitor, who pretty much thought he was invincible because he was an Inquisitor, right up until the point the Gene Stealer ate him. On the whole, it actually worked out pretty well. I had a lot of fun playing that. But it was the game I saw the least potential in. The system I saw the least potential in, I guess. The setting. I think a lot of the other 40k ones are more interesting storyline-wise.
Oh, yeah, probably. I think we want to do like a quick, like a full of action campaign. But we still add some interesting elements, like we have a specific background. We all, like, our whole squad are from the Dark Angel, which is like a rarity, and everybody like distrusts us because of that, like all the other squads. And we of course have to. Rare, right? So we have our missions, but we have to like hunt for Fallen on top of that. So it's gonna add like elements.
Yeah, no, that could be really cool. Or a bunch of Space Wolves, or that could be cool too. There's
other Space Wolves, and so we have a bit of animosity with other squads.
Yeah, no, that's cool. What's most important is that you're having fun.
Yeah.
There is no wrong way to have fun, despite what the internet says.
But I would like for him to not have fun in that campaign and finally switch to ours. He was supposed to join us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was invited. Yeah, people. I was invited.
It was even my choice, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I may have been drunk that day. I don't really remember.
No, you were driving. I hope you weren't drunk.
Was that the Chicago trip? No.
Yes. You were talking about the campaign. Yeah.
Well, I was definitely sober then.
I don't know. Maybe it was pity, something.
No, I'm pretty pitiless when it comes to you. No, I think you'd have fun. The world, like, Shadow of the Demon has a lot of options for what you play and how you play.
Yeah.
Character progression is kind of strange, but compared to other RPGs. But on the whole, again, there's no wrong way to have fun. So as long as you're having fun in your game, that's all that matters.
I plan to. I even made like a librarian to add another level of complexity and fun. Like some things stupid and crazy will probably happen to me.
Oh, almost definitely. Librarian? Yeah, you're gonna fail a perils test.
They all look at me like I'm a walking time bomb. The other players.
Well, that's
but with a little smirk at the same time, like you're just waiting for something to happen.
Well, let's face it, it's not far from the truth.
Yaum, have you worked on other miniatures beside the Corker in the past weeks? Don't go too far back. We have not had you for like 7 months in, so don't go that far.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, he was there, I think, like before Christmas.
No wonder I've been enjoying the cast so much. Seriously, I didn't think it'd been that long. Sorry, Yaum.
Yeah, and even the listeners had a break in.
You should have started complaining sooner that I'd cut you out of the show.
It wasn't even me. It was like Tom at the store.
Yeah,
who
it's
asked
okay.
Me, like,
whoever you had to bribe to bring it up, it's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna do a recap, of course, of the last 7 months, but
let's cut to the chase and talk about your Stormraptor.
Yeah, the big one, man. So yeah, I painted that for a couple of weeks, and I had the client had an idea of trying to reproduce like the look of a storm, the feel of a storm, like really put the emphasis on the storm part. So I came up with that idea of like a dark cloud, and like a lightning storm is going to be like flashes in the clouds, and you sometimes going to see lightning. So I came up with that, and it came out really great. And when I put it online, it got like a massively positive reaction. I was not expecting that.
Well, it is gorgeous. I mean, funny that gorgeous models get great reactions. Oh,
I think it's one of my best online reaction to a model.
Well, yeah. I think it's probably one of your best. I wasn't one of your best models, but I think it comes across better than most of your models online.
Yeah.
Like pictures, I don't find pictures are always representative of the model. Some models just translate better to photographs than others. And I think the way that Stormraptor is done, he's just really photogenic.
Yeah.
So he looks really good. I mean, he is gorgeous in real life. I've never seen him, but I'm sure he's gorgeous in real life too. I'm not trying to say that it's just pictures and it's all Photoshop, Yaum. I'm on you.
I'm sure some people would think that, but no, it's just.
I know you better than that. I give you a lot of crap on the show, but I know you've got too much integrity for that.
Yeah. No, that's not my jam.
You're not a well-known European painter.
Let's not talk about that. But yeah, no, it was just like since it's dark and there's points of light because of the lightning, it goes to pure white. So that's just the way it came out of photo shoots. So yeah. I mean, it looked great in picture too. I was happy, but yeah, sure, it looks like exactly like that in person. So yeah. I'm super happy. The client's happy. Lots of positive feedback. Lots of share also. I mean, you've saw it everywhere, but I just posted like my regular spots. Once on Twitter, once on Facebook, and I share it twice on Facebook, like in the War Machine group, and Heavier Metal, because I thought that this one was good enough for Heavier Metal. And Instagram, because I always forget to post on Instagram because I don't really browse Instagram. I just...
You're failing at social media?
Yeah. I'm just, that app exists.
It's because you're old. You're still using Facebook.
But a lot of people shared it, and for a couple of days, people were writing me messages. Well,
hopefully, it gets you some more commission work or something if you want it.
Who knows?
I mean, not that you're dying for commission work, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was done in that now that the Archons in War Machine are coming out. I already have a commission lined up for an Archon. I hope to paint them all. Let's start with one.
Yeah, I must confess, damn it, I keep messing up his eye. I have not really looked at anything War Machine. I was super excited for the new stuff to come out, and then it did, and I can't bring myself to care. I don't know what's going on. Like, I was actually quite excited, and it just all went away. I don't know why.
That's bad. Like, you don't have to, of course. There are other games, but I'd like to play that against you because it's one of the few games I play. And I pretty much switch army. Also, it's I switch to Scorn. It's a lot more pleasant.
Well, that I think is a personal preference.
Yeah, but it's like not quite rediscovering the game, but almost like it's such a different faction. It gives a different feel of the game. It gives you different games because you don't play the same way. This faction is a lot more aggressive, so it changed the way I have to play. So it's really refreshing.
It's okay, I know what you really meant. This faction is more OP, and so I can win games easier, so I'm happier.
More like, I feel I'm not like going uphill all the time. After 15 years of playing Signar.
Wow. I'm gonna say something. The Soltesian Gutter has the strangest eye ever. Her eye is like... she only has one eye that shows, and it is probably like 15% the size, or 20% the size of her head. And it's bulbous, like it really sticks out of the side. It looks really weird. So I've kind of tried to paint it half covered, otherwise it would look super strange. And I think she looks like a frog. But that's... looks like she has a giant frog eye. Oh well. Yeah. No,
after Corker? Oh, sorry, don't go ahead. Well.
No, I was going to say, actually, it's funny, you switched out of Signar, and I've been thinking about going to Signar.
Oh, Signar is going to come back strong with the new things that are going to come out, the new update, Oblivion models. It's going to... all the change to the way that teams work also. It's going to help Signar a lot, so it's a good time to come back. I'm just tired of playing them.
Yeah, I just want something different. Like, I was looking at my Khador, and I love my Khador. That's what I've always played for War Machine. Well, Khador and Mercs, I played Mercs for about a year. But my Merc models, what I wanted to do, it's not really viable. And it's quasi kind of viable in Signar, so... which is a giant robot list, with like 2 Colossals or something. It can kind of work in Signar, so I keep being drawn back to that.
Yeah, they're gonna revise it. It's Signar's turn, so they're gonna revise the point cost and the abilities, and so they're gonna change a lot. It's gonna come back. They're gonna come back in the top of the faction roster. Not called ranking. Yeah, ranking.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know a lot of their players are still not happy, though. They feel they didn't get enough of the changes. Well, you know the Signar online community, right? It's
Yeah.
It's the most isolated of miniature communities. It's got everything but a Cantina band. Sorry.
Richard Blaze.
Yeah, this Richard Hive of Scum and Villainy. Yeah. But yeah, the Storm Raptor. Sorry, let's backtrack a little bit. You executed that very well. I really liked the lightning bolts and stuff. I thought they were really well done. When I found out that's what you'd intended to do, I had some concerns. I didn't think it would look very good. But then I'm like, well, it's Yaum. I'm if anyone knows what he's doing with a model, it's probably him. And you have more talent in your little toe than I do in my entire body, so like I can't really judge you.
Funny is, it's not the first time that I did that. Because of my Signar past, I did that before. And usually I get the comment like, oh, I like the look, but I don't like the lightning that you did, da da da. But this time it just went the opposite.
So, the thing is, and again, this is just me, I think the lightning stands out better on the ultra dark tones of the bird, as opposed to your ultra light blue that your Signar was.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because of the contrast and stuff, I think it just looks better there, overall.
That's the keyword. More contrast.
I never disliked it on your Signar, but it didn't pop the same way as it pops on the Storm Raptor, in my opinion.
Well, thanks. I'm really glad that... thank you for the compliment. I'm happy. I'm super happy with it. And I'm glad you like it.
See, Mark, I can be nice to you. If you're listening, I can say nice things. It hurts me a little bit, but that's okay.
It's a little puke in your mouth, but...
Well, I'm already sick. I can just blame it on, like, fever. I was only nice because I was feverish and delusional.
Yep, it's done. It's still sitting in my room, though. I'm waiting for the client to come pick it up. But it's done.
Yeah.
I kind of hope, like, I'd like to do more Colossals. Because they're always, like, fun piece to do because they're big, they look out really great. But, like, someone contacted me, like, to get a quote on 3 of them. It's like, ugh. I don't know if I want to paint, like, 4 Storm Raptors. It's like, ugh.
Is that really what he wanted? With just multiple Storm Raptors?
Yeah. That's what you asked for.
Is that a viable list? I don't know. I don't follow.
Maybe he knows other people. I don't.
He's gifting Yaum painted Storm Raptors? I want him as a friend. Because I don't know what you charge for that, but I'm sure it was not free. And nor should it be, so don't take it don't take it that way.
There's a quote I like a lot from the Joker in The Dark Knight. When he says, when you're good at something, never do it for free. I think that it applies to artists in general.
Absolutely. That's been a pretty long-standing discussion in the miniature painting circle, right? Is how much do you charge for stuff? And, and there are people who are willing to practically give away their work because, they're either starting out or, they don't value their time, or maybe they're just not very, this is going to sound egotistical or judgmental, maybe they're just not very good, right? And then they're doing tabletop or whatever, like I did. So they can be cheap because it's fast and it's easy.
Oh, sometimes the person has been convinced it's not good and shouldn't charge. Other times, they're starting out strong and they want to undercut other artists. There's a lot of different reasons.
Yeah, that's true. I always forget about the undercutting. But then the problem is it's hard to go back. You start off undercutting people?
Yeah. They always shoot themselves in the foot. After that, they burn themselves out.
Yeah, they had all kinds of business, but that's entirely true. You got to be careful about that. So yeah, hey, Yaum, I had an idea this week, actually earlier tonight. There's a chance Antoine is not going to be available for a couple shows. Maybe you and I should just do some shows together, just you and I.
So we can rekindle the flame.
Well, I'm sorry. You are not competing with Antoine for my flame.
He already has mine too, so Antoine gets all the love.
He does. He has the sexiest accent of the group. Just saying.
You're still there, Antoine?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, you didn't compliment me.
I think.
So. You sleeping?
No, I'm painting.
Me too. My gutter is coming on quite excellently.
Waiting for Paul to finish gushing over your Storm Raptor.
You didn't gush. What, you didn't like it?
No, it was really good.
My compliment?
Was
you
garbage.
get comments from him all the time.
It was garbage.
Garbage. No, I'm just trying to be cocky because, Paul always says I'm a cocky bastard. But,
yeah, but
it's not true.
It's not deserved. I don't mind that you're cocky, Yaum. You can be cocky, you have a reason.
That's another discussion, right? The fine line between modesty and being being cocky. Like, you have to appreciate what you can do. You have to be proud of what you can do, but not brag too much.
You're a little prouder than most, I think, but that's okay.
Well, I spent a lot of years being too modest and always like bringing myself down.
That must have been before I met you.
Yeah. But no, that's serious though. So that's another topic for another day. But no, now I'm trying to appreciate that when I do like something great, I want to be able to say it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah, Antoine, after Corker, the plan was to paint some pulp cities.
Yeah, but there's a keyword there, was, and new commission and archons and stuff like that. So you don't fool me.
I brought them with me in vacation, right? The plan, it was supposed to rain, so I was like, I'm gonna bring all the, like, my pinvice, my files, and just prep the models, but it was, like, sunny and warm all week.
I'm just gonna point out that most Pulp City models are one piece. So your pinvice and prep models excuse, it doesn't hold water.
Oh no, but... No, I need to remove the little tab between the under the feet and put them on stuff. Because that's what I do.
Oh, that's right. You gotta make your base 6 inches taller than your actual model.
Yes.
So that precariously topples anytime anyone gets near it. Right, I forgot.
Yeah, I started to do that too. Look at my monkeys.
Yep.
The way I go is the smaller the model is, the higher the base is. Just to compensate so they have all the same height level.
Yes, you're an inspiration.
That's true. I hadn't thought about that, Antoine. The fact that the monkeys...
Yeah. You know what's not good? Coca-Cola Orange Sorbet.
Yeah.
Is it trying to be a Stewart's orange and failing miserably?
Yes. Yeah. No, it's Coke, but Coke with orange vanilla flavor added to it. They came out with 3 new flavor this summer, and
yeah, I've tried
all 3, and I dislike all 3. So,
what were they? I tried the American versions, so they're a bit different. Like the names are different, the flavors.
There's lime here, orange sorbet, and cherry sorbet. So it's like cherry Coke, but with add vanilla flavor, overpowering vanilla flavor that ruins the cherry Coke.
You and Steve are so weird.
What?
I would never understand your taste for weird things.
Yeah, unlike Steve, I don't do trips just to get weird stuff.
Oh, it's really new on it.
I like tasting weird stuff, but I don't center whole vacations around that.
Steve is kind of epic for that, I have to admit.
Yeah. Going to the grocery stores in the States with him? Pretty funny. He just just grabs everything that we don't have here. Or if it's written new on it. Oh, it's
new or limited edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty epic for that. The Oreos and stuff, especially. He loves all the different flavored Oreos. He used to always message me when I went down, if you're going to go near a store, can you see if they have this X flavor of Oreo? Like, sure. Or flavors of chips. He likes flavors of chips, too. Oh, good old Steve.
Still doing tartan, still not fun.
Status updates. I'm still doing crappy non-metallic metal. It is still crappy. But it's fast. So what else can we talk about? We're 53 minutes in. Ish.
Gen Con was past weekend. Anything that was a highlight for you guys?
Well, I think the same thing everyone else talking about too. The what's it called? Crisis Protocol? Is that it?
Yep.
That seemed to be the highlight in my Facebook groups. How do you guys feel about it? You guys excited for another superhero game?
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? I mean, it was great to see that the guys who left Private Press went to that company. So we know what they can do. We know they have experience.
Yeah, they killed War Machine. I mean, what could go wrong?
Personal opinions. I don't disagree with.
Yeah, I was gonna say shared by tons of people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue.
Yeah, no, I can't. No, I don't blame Pagani and Dallas, the other guys, for War Machine's fate. I think that comes from higher up.
But at first I was, not surprised, but I don't think it was like that, like high in demand or like missing. Or I was happy to see like the Terran kit. I was like the sculpt. I like it based on cartoon.
Yeah, they look really good.
Yeah. And it's a quality matter, like it's hard plastic at a Games Workshop. It's gonna be great. Great.
It's gonna be easier to put together than night models.
Yeah. But then we learned it was 40 millimeters. Well, the bad news is that we wanted those terrain or to use the terrain that we already have. So now we cannot really. I mean, I can see the point from a company standpoint of view, but it's too bad because we play Pulp City, so it's too bad for us.
Yeah, well, 40mm will make nicer models for painting, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and for terrain's sake, if you want to use that in Pulp City, if you get just the night model stuff, not night model, but the Crisis Protocol stuff, I think it will look fine. The terrain will look more to scale, in fact. Because most of the time we play with the scale of terrain is smaller than the scale of the models to make sense. So it will work too.
Well, yeah, let's be honest. The scale of the models is kind of all over the place.
Yeah, there's that too. So
not knocking them.
Yeah. On my side, I'm pretty excited about it. Before Night Model, like right at the cusp of when the lost/stopped supporting the Marvel license, I was gonna start picking it up. I'm not a big comic fan, but I prefer the tone of Marvel than DC and the character from it. So them coming back, being even if it's just a basic box and not going further into the stuff, it would be a great game to pick up to play with my son. He loves comic book heroes, and he mostly liked the Marvel, more cartoony characters than the right now more dark DCU. So that's perfect for him. And I think the game looks like I would really, really like to play Pulp City with him, but I think the game is a bit too intense with the multiple resources for the multiple activation in the same turn. While I think I've not read through the rules completely yet, but I think it's just pure alternate activation in Crisis Protocol. So I think that might be easier for him to grasp. And model will be plastic, so even if they're painted, there's less chance that he breaks them or that stuff become unglued or
chipped.
Yeah. So I just a basic box at another box for the 10 model, the train, the small rule book, and all the stuff. I think it's an amazing value. That's not saying
do we have that confirmed? I haven't seen that yet.
The price sheet is out, and it's even available on some website already on pre-order. Like the terrain box and the starter box are really good value. When you start looking at the characters, the price is a bit high. Like the 2 character box are 40 US, and the single characters for the normal size stuff is 25.
What are the normal size characters? Like, what are we talking
let's
about?
say like
a Spider-Man size, like it's a regular banana?
Spider-Man, the one in the multiverse one. What's his name?
Miles Morales?
Yeah, Miles. And Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider. They are together in one of the expansion box, and that's $40.
Yeah.
Well, they are 40 millimeters, and they come with cards and tokens.
Yeah, I understand the pricing. I just, compared to the starter, it's less of a no-brainer value.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because the starter has an amazing price, but with hard plastic and the number they probably intend to sell with the license, it makes sense to have it as a great intro. And after that, they can sell the rest at a more inline price with probably the licensing cost and everything.
Yeah, my biggest problem with it is that it's going to be Asmodee.
For distribution. Yeah.
Which means you got to deal with Asmodee, which is not necessarily easy here. They're the other 800-pound gorilla in the gaming industry. So, and they have stock allocation issues and stuff. Like they really play favorites. So
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for the game itself, I personally am really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I love Marvel. I collected Marvel comics for years and years and years. I was a huge Spider-Man fan. My biggest problem with any game that uses an existing IP is you end up with weird matchups that destroy my immersion because they make no sense. They make my brain cringe. Like, Red Skull fighting Captain Marvel. Well, that shouldn't be much of a fight.
It probably isn't also in the game. The characters have power levels, and I'm pretty sure Captain Marvel is a lot higher than Red Skull is.
But the thing is, they would never interact in the comics. Like, that would never happen. Period. It's not the matter that Red Skull would lose or win. It's not just that, I should say. It's also the fact that they wouldn't even...
Yeah, but with comics, there's so many what-if series and alternate versions and everything that it kind of doesn't bug me.
And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's how I feel.
Like, I feel that if there's a place you can have bad guys and villains and heroes go together depending on weird alliance and everything, it's comic book. Like superheroes, not faction, but genre.
Absolutely.
That's the genre to go with, and especially Marvel with.
Yeah, they did spin-off for everything.
Yeah.
Like when Deadpool picks up Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
In what, the comics?
Yeah. But it was in one of the Deadpool's comics, so they don't count.
Yeah, one of the Deadpool destroys the universe type things, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't particularly care for Deadpool either, so. Again, because he breaks the fourth wall, and I don't find that particularly funny or entertaining. He didn't always break the fourth wall in comics, and I kind of liked him back then. Oh well. I guess I'm just an old curmudgeon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that being said, I'm sure the game is interesting, and I understand why they had to, Dallas and Wilhelm. There's no way they could bankroll that. A startup company cannot go out and buy a Marvel license, so their new company being part of Asmodee makes sense. They probably had a concept, went and pitched it, and said, "Okay, now we need this killer license to make this really sell."
I've seen some stuff, and I think there was pretty talk with Privateer Press because they started working on it when they were still at Privateer Press, and Privateer Press is tanked in the rulebook. So I think they did early design, and there might have been a decision to make a full company out instead of having Privateer Press work on it in the end. I'm not too sure.
That seems weird.
And who? It's Doug Hamilton, who's still a sculptor at Privateer Press. He worked on 2 of the army model. He did 2 of the sculpts for Crisis Protocol. But that's the only 2 he did because he stayed at the Privateer Press. The other sculptor is an ex-Privateer Press sculptor who's now working for Atomic Mass Games. So
Who's that?
there's probably some snafu there, like backdoor industry stuff that we don't know about.
Almost certainly.
Who's the other
Maybe
sculptor?
Oh, I don't remember his name, but it's the name in the rulebook, and I've seen him in the sculpting group too.
Yeah, I still think money must play a factor somewhere, because, how the hell do you get the license from Disney without shelling out a bucket load of cash?
Mm-hmm. And also, Fantasy Flight already have the license for other type of games, like they are publishing Champions, a card game at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably add access to the sensor and maybe deals to have a sub-licensing.
Maybe Fantasy Flight already own the license.
Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, because Fantasy Flight does Marvel Legendary and they do all kinds of stuff, right? So, who knows?
Yep. But,
super complicated.
It's in my read list right now for my upcoming vacations. I could finish that. And I'll most probably pre-order it when it's become available locally. And I know other people locally have mentioned interest in it too. Not in our small group, but outside of that. But
I know Chris was looking at it as a way to have models he liked for Pulp City. Until I pointed out there was a pretty big scale difference.
Yeah, that I'm not sure about.
So that kind of, disappointed him in the end.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested in it to play it straight. One thing is, like, the base box is going to be a good starting point, but I think you will have to branch out pretty fast because of how this building works. If you don't want to face always the same, like to play mirror matches.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that
makes
right?
sense. It's a basic starter to get people into the game, but after that
After that, they want you to buy models, so I guess it makes sense that they're gonna...
That's the point of every game.
Yep.
Well, we're on to them.
I don't know, all people will go... Will people try to fill team, or are the most competitive player are gonna go mixed, even alignment, because it doesn't matter in the game. So, we're gonna see. Yeah, how it works, you pick any 10 models you want. No matter if they are the same team, or if they're even the same side. Villains and heroes can be mixed together, because whatever happened in that scenario, they have to fight together for that situation. And when you start your game, each player is going to bring a crisis card, or I don't know if it's purely random, or it's based on list selection, selected in a small list. That I'm not sure yet. But you will have one crisis card, your opponent will also have one. They each have a specific objective on them, and the objective for the game are going to be the combined objectives from both crisis cards. And the crisis cards also have I don't know the exact term, but power level on them. And yeah,
that's how you do team building. I remember reading that, yeah.
You will check out the 2 crisis card, and that will tell you how many power level you can use from your 10 model list. So your 10 model list could have maybe 40, 50 power levels in it, depending on which type of model you choose. But you will be limited to the maybe 15, 16, 17 points that the game needs or limits you to. I like the concept. I could see doing something similar for Pulp City when we do events, like bring a pool of X many power levels. Yeah.
Because that was like the one thing that it needs for like organized play. I just keep dropping everything.
In my wildest dream, this will generate people's interest for superhero miniature games, and then we can like
Sell them on Pulp City?
Yeah. Easier.
Yeah. That's going to be quite the upsell. Okay, you're going to play a game that's possibly inferior, but we don't know, with uglier models that aren't really available because there's nowhere to buy them. But the store's coming soon.
Yeah.
Not trying to sound bitter, just being realistic. But I also sound bitter, I realize that.
We don't know which one's going to be better. Maybe... Well, we'll wait. Antoine will read the rules and give us demos. That's how it works.
Yeah, I don't think...
happily do so.
I'm not worried about what's quote-unquote better. I think...
No.
I think Pulp City is quite a fun game. And I've got a ton of models for it already, so...
We both do.
Yeah. That escalated quickly.
Mm-hmm.
At least you're getting them painted. I switched from Pulp City to other stuff, so
Well,
I'm stuck with just my moldy. Yeah, but you've painted a second team already.
Possibly two, yes.
Yeah. I need to finally decide which team I want to work on and start painting them. It will also provide painted models for Yaum when he wants to play, as he's not working on his own.
Soon-ish.
Yeah. Until the next commission.
It's been my answer for months.
I know.
Well, money talks.
Every time
right, so.
another projects happen, and they're pushed back after that. And they're pushed back after that. And they're pushed back after that. And rinse and repeat.
Well, Yaum needs to feed his family, so.
Yep.
I can understand.
Me too. I just poke him a bit.
Hey, I know all about that. Yaum poking is my raison d'être, as we say in French.
You've become really adept at it.
No, I try. If you do anything long enough, right, you're bound to get good at it.
Anything else you guys seen at Gen Con or from the Gen Con material online that was of any interest?
That's the funny thing. Not really. I mean, it took all the place. Crisis Protocol for me. I didn't see really what else was going on, and even like the painting competition. I was looking at the pieces, and some of the like the best of pieces they were at Crystal Brush. So there was not even like a lot to look at for Gen Con painting comp. Like,
no.
Really? You could do that for Gen Con?
Apparently.
In theory, you shouldn't. If I remember the rules when I went.
Well, I guess if it didn't place at Crystal Brush, you can...
Well, that might be the...
That's my guess, too.
The thing.
That's a weird choice, though.
Yeah. I'm gonna take that piece that was not good enough to win at that other competition and hope that the competition is crappier this time and I can win with it.
You can also take it home, refine it, work on it some more. Like, it's not necessarily the exact same as it was at the previous show, but still, it's kind of a weird choice. But hey, people do weird things. There's no lack of odd people in our hobby. I know that may shock you to find out. But, yeah, you would think people would be more original.
Well, but maybe that's just us. Maybe that's how we think, but maybe we don't do all the cons, and I don't know. Maybe we're out of phase. I don't know.
Absolutely.
It's just our elitist Canadian standards. Because that's what Canada's known for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll just say I find it strange. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, I did it in the past also, but like I had to be convinced by other people. Like when I went to Sword and Brush, I presented for Frank Von Stein again, but because people talked me into it.
And he was shown at
Figure and Kevin.
Yeah.
Things I don't have to worry about. If there's ever a tabletop competition where they set a standard that is so low that then maybe I can compete.
You should enter something when we go to Captain Con. Enter Chibi. This last time we went, there were 2 models, so you would get a bronze automatically, if not better.
I suppose that's true. Wait, are we bringing Yaum?
That time, Yaum won that first place.
Yeah, you won second, right?
No, I didn't enter Chibi. I should have.
Oh, sorry, not Chibi. That was...
All the categories I was in, Yaum got first. So...
Take that, Antoine.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, but more seriously, but not really. Ben, but he was the judge. He was the judge at the Captain Con. So when he saw me, came with my models like, why aren't you the judge? So yeah, if I go back, funny. Ben's probably gonna intercept me and say, hey, here's the mental of judging. You go right ahead. Pretty sure that's what's gonna happen if I go back to Captain Con.
What was Ben is Ben still involved in it? Do you know?
I don't know.
Because that was 2 years ago, right?
Yep.
And last year, I seem to recall the painting competition display was pretty bare. Like, even more so than the previous year.
Okay.
We'll have to fill that up next year.
Yeah. Come down and clean house.
It's the only convention I can go to, so... Or, I hope I can go to.
Well, I've already got clearance for next year for us, so...
Mm-hmm. So, might as well do everything. Painting competition, Pulp City, Reddick Night, Clam Chowder.
That sounds like a full itinerary.
Yep. And whatever else, other strange thing we'll be able to get. Or play.
I like the way you think, Antoine.
So, that's enough for Gen Con? Might as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think let's go to the news and call this a wrap. Because my cough drop has run out, and I'm going to start coughing anytime now.
First,
coughing more.
Punga Miniatures. They have Ratman Warriors on pre-order. So, Punga, we've already talked about them in the past when they did their Canitors and Felitors and a bunch of their miniatures. They also did the Pirates, Blood Bowl proxies recently. This time they are doing other rats, but they're more like Skaven proxies, the old Skaven
more
from
like?
The Fantasy Horde world.
Yeah, more like? I think you mean exactly like?
Oh, yeah, really cool? They are changed the name, but they are more recent sculpt and better looking versions of these old Game Workshop models.
Mm-hmm.
They look good. There's a bunch of them. They have a ton of variants. And they look good. If you are interested, you do have a lot of time. They will only start shipping in December. So it's a bit like a Kickstarter that they are running on their own store for the next 4 or 5 months.
Was it that... It's the Frostgrave people that do that, isn't it?
Yeah, they do a Kickstarter. That's North Star military figures that do that. So there's a lot of them. They're available. They are nice. Punga Miniatures usually do pretty nice models. So they are scaled at 32 meters, so they might be a bit bigger than the old Game Workshop stuff. If you want to mix and match them, they might be a bit bigger. I have not seen comparisons. But for first line or for characters, they'll be right there.
Yeah, they'll be perfect.
Yep. Second item from the local Westfalia Minatures. They have their Kickstarter running right now, The Third Breakfast. So this is a full line of Elflings.
Oh, Antoine, how are you going to resist?
I already have some of them because he brought back some of the already existing halfmans they have. But there's a bunch of new ones. They have new teams. There are some Arabic-inspired halflings.
Say the Arabian Nights halflings.
They have the generic fantasy ones and, well, generic medieval ones.
Yeah,
and they have the kind of old Prussian-inspired with the, how do they call them? The Alfschnicks? Or, I pretty totally mispronounced that. But they look more like the Empire version with all fluffy coats and clothes.
Yeah. With the pan helmets and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a ton of choices. Like there is a lot of miniatures available. So if you are looking for halflings to play in any type of fantasy settings, be there skirmish games, armies, or just random miniatures for RPGs, they are looking really good. A bunch of those are already out, and you can pick from them, so it's not like they won't be available. And Westfalia have done multiple projects, so they know what they're doing. So,
and they're super affordable.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not Frostgrave Warband, right?
Yeah.
It's super cool for that. 3 archers, $5. Some medium spearmen, 3 of them, $5. Canadian $5, right?
Yeah, so
yeah. It's like $1.50 US. It's dirt cheap.
And they have like the Elfling Adventure group, $12 for them. Like it's $4 each. There's a wizard, a ranger, and a rogue. That if that doesn't speak Frostgrave, what does?
Yeah. Or even what's the new game they come out with? Rangers of.
Oh yeah, Shadow Deep.
Yeah, I want to say Waterdeep, but Waterdeep is the Forgotten Realms thing.
Yeah. So, there isn't a lot of time left. It was a pretty short Kickstarter. By the time of the release of this show, there will be about 5 days left. Their original goal was $1,000 Canadian. They're over 20,000 right now, so they are well past what they need. It should be funding, no problem. If you want to fund, you have until Wednesday, August 14th to do so. And that's a wrap for me.
Alright, and I think Gutter is pretty much done. So that's a wrap for me.
My tartan is not done, but that's a wrap for me.
Yeah, well, I paint a miniature episode, Yaum, right? That's my goal.
Okay. Success.
Yep. Hey, for what I paint and the hour I paint, I don't think anyone's going to complain.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, guys, it was a pleasure as always. Yaum, we'll have you back soon. Like I said, I think Antoine's going to go on vacation. And we talked about either putting the show on hiatus for a couple weeks while he was doing that. Or maybe I'll record, maybe we'll put the main show on hiatus and I'll record a filler episode with you.
Ooh, that's big shoes to fill, but...
All about Yaum.
Yes. You should do a survey first.
What would you like to know about Yaum?
Do you want a show all about Yaum?
We'll figure something out.
All right. I'll be back for sure. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for having me, and anytime. Bye, everyone.
Talk to you guys later.
And bye, geeks.
Thanks for listening to Geeks of the North. If you want to contact us, you can email us at geeksofthenorth@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/geeksofthenorth, or follow us on Twitter at Geeks of the North. You can follow me, Paul, at PRFilio, Antoine at Eltonio Berg, Steve at B_Steve, and if you really feel the need, I guess you can follow Yaum. He's at Yomasta. Breaks and outro music by Ladrave. You can listen to them at ladrave.bandcamp.com. See you next time, geeks.
Thank you for checking out a United Geeks Network family member. If you enjoyed it and are looking for other online media with a geek culture slant, head over to UnitedGeeksNetwork.com, where you will find All Us Geeks, a podcast that discusses board games, movies, television, comics, Kickstarter, and many other forms of geek culture. The United Geeks Network. You can broadcast your geekiness at UnitedGeeksNetwork.com.